guys, Shivani Aldie here, and wow, it's been quite a while since Daniel and I released a vlog. Today we are headed to Washington, D.C. for some afternoon tea, and along the way we're going to answer some of your questions. And if you wait until the end of the video, you'll even join us for some high tea.
Yes, my friends, we go on a date every single week, but this time we decided to bring you along. So let's go. Alright, the first question is, what was my first year like as an entrepreneur? Now, I'm going to explain it this way. As an entrepreneur, there's a lot of things that you have to do that employees don't do. For instance, you have to go the extra mile and do more than you're paid to do. But more important than that is that you have to pay the price. And when I say pay the price, I'm basically saying that you have to come out of pocket to make sure that your expenses are paid for. Because no one is going to pay you to design your website. No one is going to pay you to advertise. No one is going to pay you to hire and fire employees. You have to come out of pocket to do that on your own. So in my first year of business, I knew that there was a price that I had to pay, and I actually paid far more than I earned in my first year by using credit, by selling my car, and by doing whatever it took to grow my business.
So for me, I would say our first year of business required a lot of diligence and absolutely no support. We learned like never before. We did things that most people would not do, and we stayed up night after night learning our craft, perfecting our skills, and we never gave up. More importantly, we had to put our trust in God completely. There were so many things that we just did not know, and we had to figure it out on the way. And of course, you can't forget, you will always face adversity when you're trying to do something great in life.
So I want to follow that up by saying that we didn't have any set hours. A lot of times people think that they can work like 9 to 5 or even 9 to 9. You know, the fact is that in business, you can't really set a schedule. You have to be willing to get up and do the work whenever God is calling you to do it. And if there's any time where you lack motivation, you have to find out what motivates you, and you have to dig deep within. And that's why I always tell people you can't do it for the money. Because if you only do it for the money is all you'll get. But if you do it for a higher purpose, you do it for God, you do it for people, then I promise you it's always going to work out in the end. So the next question is, how did our mindset shift from the time we started to now? And the answer is very simple. We just think bigger. That's really it. For example, when I had to make my first investments, it was probably like a couple $100. And it was so hard. I would take hours, sometimes days, sometimes even weeks. And I would debate and I would wait on this decision, hoping that I would have enough wisdom to decide. But now, I already know what to do. I already know how I feel about certain decisions that I need to make. And so I'm making decisions that are worth thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars on the spot. And so what I'm basically saying is that I'm more deliberate in my decisions. I don't wait and debate. When it's time to push the button, I make it happen because I know exactly what I'm aiming for.
I would definitely have to agree. Our biggest mindset difference from then versus now is to think bigger. And no, I'm not just talking about our goals. I'm talking about any challenges we used to face versus now. Back then, I would have wasted hours stressing about everything that could go wrong. What if this? What if that? And now if we face a certain adversity, you will find us being proactive instead of reactive. And that's a huge game changer as you're reaching new levels, because you already know when you reach new levels, you will face new devils. So don't worry, don't stress about what's going on right now, because when you look back, you'll realize and you'll actually start laughing at the problems you once had. And the last question is, how do you stay motivated through it all? Through the setbacks, through the trials, through the tribulations, through whatever is going to happen. How do you stay motivated? How do you continue to live out your purpose?
So for me, it's very simple. Whenever you get into a funk, you just got to switch it up. You know, sometimes you got to go to the gym. Sometimes you got to read affirmation cards. But the number one thing that I like to do is I like to read. You know, whether I'm reading the scriptures or I'm reading my own books, I'm reading someone else's books, I know that I can tap into higher level thinking instead of falling into fear or despair or worrying about things I can't control. And another thing I like to do is I like to think about all the reasons why I started and all the reasons why I want to keep going. Because a lot of times people forget why they really began the process of change in the first place. And for me, I like to think about the person I'm becoming. And I ask myself, what kind of person do I want to be in the next 50 years? What kind of legacy do I want to leave? And when you start asking yourself these deep questions, you start thinking on a higher level. You start understanding what you're really made of, and it pushes you to become much more of who you are right now. So the main point is to get deep within, because in this world of distractions, we can easily see all the celebrity gossip, we can watch the news, we can see sports, we can see things happening in our life. Maybe there's family members that die, or we just got a medical report that was negative, or something that we hear that may not be favorable in our life. We can't allow those circumstances to rock us, to make us think that we're not good enough or that we can't make a change. What we have to do is to tap into a deeper soul so that we can reach our greatest goal.
The biggest way to stay motivated through any obstacle is to remember that that is only happening in your life to help you reach the next level that you've been asking for. If you remain stagnant, I promise you that you won't face any big challenge. But if you are asking for a greater life, if you're asking to reach a higher goal, then you'll have to go through major hurdles, because that is what's going to help you grow into the person you're asking to be. So whenever tough times do come, make sure to rejoice, because whenever you face persecution, you will only get better and things will be brighter on the other side.
All right, we just shared a lot of information. We just showed you a lot of things. Now it's time for some afternoon tea in Washington, D.C.
Some green tea for Daniel.
Gotta stay fresh. We have Freddie here. Freddie is serving our tea. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome to Hey Adam,
Yes, we're at the Hayes Adams.
Lafayette Restaurant.
Lafayette Restaurant. Hey Adams. We got some sweets up here. Biscuits, sandwiches, and of course my lady shababy.
Right at the White House.
Look at that. Look at that. You like it?
Of course.
Alright, so we just had some afternoon tea and now we're going out to get something to eat.
So it's finally dinner time, and if you follow us on Instagram, you know that Daniel and I are foodies and we love to try all kinds of cuisines from all over the world. And tonight, what are we gonna have?
So we're about to get some Ethiopian food, and the reason why I like it so much is because there's so many different spices that cannot be found in any other cuisine. Have you guys ever had Ethiopian food before? Let me know. All right, so this is Shivani's favorite thing to eat at an Ethiopian restaurant.
Sambusa.
Sambusas.
I love it. It's so similar to samosas, but this is filled with juicy beef, and every bite is worth it.
You gotta get in there, Shivani.
I'm getting there.
Look at that bite. Perfect. It's a real bite right there.
This makes me come back every time.
Yep.
All right, Daniel, dig in.
My turn?
Yep.
All right, let's try this out. Way too good. Way too good. So we got some tips, lamb beef. Ooh, it's looking so good. You guys ready to eat? I know we are. All right, so there you go, my friends. We just went to DC. We had some tea, we had some food. We had a great time. We answered some questions. Shivani, did you enjoy yourself?
Of course, it's always a wonderful time with the love of my life.
I know.
If you have any more questions you want us to answer on our upcoming vlogs, make sure you comment below, and of course, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know.
Yes, we thank you for joining us for this time, and we look forward to your success in the future.